Hello, good morning. Welcome to the channel. Today we will be discussing about installation of Jenkins on AWS hosting, and we will be using Ubuntu operating system. Okay. Before that, you can just check my channel Cloud DevOps with Asim. There we have a lot of options. Before that, I have already made one presentation video. Why is Jenkins and its introduction, basic introduction, and what's required, and where the Jenkins plays the roles. So this you can check through my channel, and here you can find a lot of educational videos respect of DevOps and the cloud. Okay, so these are things. So now let's go to one flow chart which I made for the Jenkins to explain how the Jenkins will be working on. Okay, how the Jenkins plays the CICD plays a virtual role in your software development cycle. Okay, the concept we are using the software is agile methodology. Whenever the code you will be delivering whenever the application has been built. Okay, this is known as agile methodology. Okay, the code repository is GitHub, and the developer write out code for our application. One is located in the US, and the development is second is located in India. Okay, they're continuously pushing the code to the GitHub repository. Okay, the GitHub account is created on the GitHub repository. From there, we are integrating GitHub with the Jenkins. Okay, Jenkins is the heart of CI/CD pipeline. The software development cycle is the Jenkins is the heart of software development cycle. The main reason for that one is it's act like a mediator, and it will execute all the requirements like integration, continuous integration, and continuous deployment. Okay, deployment in the sense it can be anything. Jenkins, like when it's using the build, Jenkins can test the build. The application use of Maven, Ant, and npm. Maven is for the Java, and Ant is used for that, and npm is used for the Node.js applications. Okay, the testing Selenium is option is available, the plugins are available, then QA check style. These are all the plugins available for the Jenkins. The Jenkins is an open source tool. So this is the thing. In the C, I have mentioned that C is cover everything. The developer they could continuously the push to the GitHub. From the GitHub, the Jenkins triggers automated trigger or manual trigger. Then it will push the code for the build. If you have a built application, then you will need to build the application based on your application. So which coding is Java or Node.js, any XYZ application. Based on that, we will be integrating through the plugins. Okay, we'll make the testing with the Selenium, and you can use QA as a check style, as I mentioned before. Okay, this all the underlying parts which I'm mentioning, that is covered in CI part, that is continuous integration. Okay, I hope this part is already is covered up. Okay, you are able to understand what I have mentioned now. Okay, the main thing what I want to mention is that Jenkins, you can give the example as is like a chef, or like a waiter. Whenever you are going to restaurant or anything else, there what happens, you are going to order to the waiter will come, you'll give the order, then the waiter will go and check with the kitchen division that this recipe is ready or no. Then it will go for reception. From there they will take the token, and it will go to the kitchen. From there it will get the dish, and it will present to the client. So the same thing the Jenkins does. Whenever the code is triggered from the GitHub, the key is pushed by the development team is take all the code from the GitHub, then it will push for the secondary things. Okay, like for the build or post build application, whatever the steps we have integrated. Now the CI part is completed. Okay, the CI part is basically this is the part. Now when you are checking for the CD, then it's known as CD is continuous delivery and continuous deployment. What do you mean by continuous delivery? Continuous delivery in the sense whenever the code like you are building the application. Okay, build application is already built, and you are hand over to the client. Okay, the client, he will have his own team. He will deploy through his teams, like his engineers, in their own environment, in their own server. This is known as continuous delivery. And one more example you can consider, that we are making one like food delivery application. We already done everything, and we have delivered to App Store or Apple Store or Microsoft Store. Okay, we have already uploaded there. From there the client is downloading, and he will install by himself in his mobile. Okay, so this is not our headache that you have to go and install by yourself in the client apps, right? We are not installing in the application mobiles of the client. So what we are doing, we are making CI and deliver. CD stands for continuous delivery for this case. Okay, so these are the two examples. From there you can have the clear picture what known by CI and CD. And if you're going for the CD, one more, continuous deployment. Continuous deployment in the sense the client say that we don't have the development team, then you have to come and install by your team itself. So you might have heard that the employees working in a continuous, like employees working the client side, that's come in continuous deployment. So we are building the application, we are deploying in the client as well as the client environment. Okay, we are going by manually team and installing their own servers, their server. Okay, let's go for the documentation now. The documentation itself covers what is CI and the details, and whenever the developer commit the code to the source gate through the gate CI pipeline, get the change of the code and ultimately build test units. As I mentioned, that is automatic trigger is enabled, then you can make this integration. Okay, and what benefits that is done. So it finds the error more quickly whenever there is a build is failed. So through the console output we can know what's the reason. It might be any error from the code. So the developers get the notification mail when you enable SMT server or you integrate with the SMP server mail notifications. Okay, it will save 20%, 30% of your time of your developers and the complete team, development team. Okay, this shows the developer is pushing to the GitHub. From the GitHub's Jenkins triggers and it's build and everything. If there is an error, something else, revert back to the developer team. Okay. Now, if you check organization, if you're using for the micro or service architecture, your application microservice architecture, then you can organize your microservice repository. Also, each repository stands for separate use case. For each module, you will be having separate repository. So you can set up multiple Jenkins, multiple branch pipelines. Okay, each pipeline will be serving speciality of each code base and each module. Okay, based on that, it can be triggered automatically. You can make multiple branching strategy also based on your requirement. Okay, what your like RSS software requirement documentation. You can build and test microservices. You can generate the artifacts, post build artifacts, and you can push to the repository, Nexus repository or XYZ repository. You can containerize your application. Like each each service will be running in one container. One container, that is Docker containers. You can use Docker tool like Docker containerization tool to integrate with the Jenkins and in your software development progress, DevOps progress. Okay, and what it does, and you can use the Kubernetes to container orchestration, so it has a control of your container, all the containers. Okay, you can manage a discovery and load balancing. Okay, it can serve as a discovery and load balance, and it provides one more option, is that automatic rollout and automatic rollback. Whenever the artifact is saved based on their version, it will be saved in Nexus. So if there is an error, something else, we can roll back that. Okay, so based on the version. So this providing, and it will provide monitoring and logging also. So you can integrate with Thomas and Grafana. This option is also there. So you can have a complete monitoring of your applications. Okay, if you microservice infrastructures. Okay, and you can go with the automate blue and green deployment, version control. There's a lot of options provided for you. This is schematic continuous delivery and deployment. The tools, how the procedure will go step by step. Okay. If you scroll back down, you will be seeing the CI/CD pipeline one diagram that will show that how is there, and this is the steps of what we have to like. We are following the steps how to install your Jenkins CI tool in your server. Okay, so what we will do, we'll be using AWS services. Just click on the AWS and Amazon.com. You'll be to the page. You have to log in from here. If you are not aware of how to create the AWS account, you can go to my channel. You can find there how to create AWS account. Free tag. We will be selecting EC2. It will take to the EC2 dashboard. There it will like present you all the list of servers running and stop stage, auto scaling, lot of details in there. We'll not go in the deep. Just will go for creating one server. Okay. it will be showing the running. Okay, I have one Jenkins already running, so I will delete that, or I will stop it. I will create new from the scratch so you can understand how to create that. Okay, just click on launch instance. Just name, you can give any name. I'm giving Jenkins as per my requirements. Jenkins server, you can name as per your requirement, just to remember that what is server. Okay, we will collecting Ubuntu OS system, operating system. It's free tier, so it's open source. Just scroll down, then we will check in T2 micro. Okay, we'll be creating a new key pair just to access the server. Just name that one Jenkins. Will be naming Jenkins, so we can remember that it is associated with this server. Okay, and just click on create pair, so it will download the key in the download folders. Your firewall security, just we are allowing SSH for now. In the future ports we will open manually. Okay, 8 GB of the volume is more than enough for us. Just review or launch. Just click on the launch. It's taking launching. It will take few minutes to launch our server. It will be up and running. Okay, just click on the ID. It's loading. So you'll be seeing that instance is already configured and it's in the running stage. Okay, so it's loading now. Okay, you can see that there is Jenkins server T with the ID like I076 the CD, and the state is running. Okay, and the type of is also T2. We will copy the public IP from here. Why? Because we want to access that. You have to move back to mobile external. Just click on the section, click on SSH, just paste here your IP, just specific username. Ubuntu is a user for the Ubuntu OS system. Just click on advanced SSH setting, then you will be checking use private key. Just click on this. So you have to click the key which you have downloaded. I have this key. Just click OK. It's done. Just click OK. So it will be connected to our server. It's saying the authentication with public IP is done. So it's successful, right? So we are into the server now. It's showing also IP4 address, and this is the one basic like benefits of that. You can have like GUI and CLI, both you can have in this application. So you can use mobile external, very nice, and it will even show you the CPU, how much is there, and the RAM, how much is using, and Ubuntu user, and how much disk is filled up, how much space still you have in your server. So it will be like if you're adding more, if it is at 80% is consumed, then you can add more volume to it. Okay, it's provide you like graphical also. If you're checking who, so it will show you that who is accessing the server. It will provide you the IP of the server for network IP. So who is accessing? This is my IP. Okay, so only I have one user that is accessed by me, this server. So you can have this also details with this. So what we will do now, we will just switch to the super user with the sudo su dash, right? So now I became the root user. From root user I can do everything. So what I will do, I will update the packages with apt update command. Okay, so it's getting updated, and then we will move back to Jenkins official documentation from the Jenkins IO website. Okay, it's showing like 53. See, I know what is current state, what the RAM is using, and these things. Okay, this is done. This part is done. Now we will go for the documentation, Jenkins documentation, right? Okay, just go for the browser, and you have to click browser, then you have to click here, and just go from the starting. I'll go back to the Google. Okay, so you should know how to access this. Just I will search in the Google that I need Jenkins for the Linux. Okay, Jenkins installation on Ubuntu, right? Just click here, it will provide you the path. Just click on this Jenkins IO. This is the provider. It will showing the documentation. We have using Linux, like you're using Linux operating system, just click on the Linux, it will take you to here. And then we are using Ubuntu also, right? He's showing that minimum prerequisite 250 MB. We have 1 MB, 1 GB of RAM in our free tier selected T2 micro. 1 GB header. We have 8 GB. Okay, so there is no issue for that. We already match prerequisite. Okay. So now Java is so we require Java installation to install to run our Jenkins. Okay, so we will check that Java is installed in our server, and it's showing that it's not installed. Java not found. Okay, so what we will do, we will go to the documentation and we will install the Java first, then we will install the Jenkins. So, and it's also showing that that OpenJDK Java 11 is no longer included. So you have to switch to OpenJDK 17. Then that means Java 17 we have to install. This is the thing. Whenever you're installing any application, you have to go officially their website and their documentation, because it's always upgrading in our IT industry, is already upgraded, right? So what I will do, I will just copy the commands sudo apt to install the Java. So what we are doing, we are updating our packages, right? Okay, it will update the packages. Then the step is sudo apt install config jdk 17 gre. Okay, I'll be pasting in the terminal. It will prompt you, just click Y. So it's getting down. Okay, it's getting downloaded the dependency packages. Okay, then what you have to do, you have to just check it out, the Java version, which version does it have, to validate that our Java is installed in our server online. Okay, so what we will do, we have to copy java.java-version. Okay, so the main recommendation is that whenever installing any application, follow their official documentation. Okay, because this video is recorded in like 13th of September of 2023. Okay, so this is a Java version. I'll be copying, I'll be pasting in my terminal. Okay, so it's showing Java JDK version is 17 and the JDK runtime environment is 17, right? So let's check is correct or no. So in the documentation also is the same thing. Okay? That means we have successfully installed Java. Now we'll go for the installation of Jenkins. So we will be checking, we will be going with the long-term support release. Okay, it's always recommended to go with the long-term support release. It will provide you the stable version of the Jenkins or any application. Okay, if you're going for weekly release, then will be messed up. It's always there is some new upgradation. It's not stable version. Okay, so always recommended to go with stable version. The command I'll be following now just to install the Jenkins. Before that, it will be installing the key, Jenkins key. I'll be pasting in my terminal. Just click enter, then go back to the document to copy the second command, echo dep sign the key, paste here, and we'll be copying another command. We will updating our packages after downloading the key and all the required packages to install the Jenkins. So it will update our packages, all packages. Now we will install Jenkins. Copy and paste in your terminal. So it started downloading. It will prompt you to enter Y. So it's taking time for the installation. Okay. And after the installation, we will follow the document on how to enable the Jenkins and how to check the status of the Jenkins and how to restart your Jenkins. So this all things will be in the below of your documentation. Okay, if you go scroll down, it is proceed. How to start, they have given the command, you have to follow this one. And how to sudo system ctl start Jenkins, sudo ctl status to know the status. So I'll be copying this sudo ctl enable Jenkins. Just it's not yet completed. Just wait few seconds, it will be completed the installation procedure. See here is providing 100% CPU users. Okay, the free tier is like killing up to the stage. I'll be the pasting this command. Okay, it's showing that is already running, executed, it enabled. So whenever there is a reboot or restart of a server, automatically Jenkins has to be started. Okay, this is a command, it will make auto enable. Now what we will do, we will copy this sudo ctl or start Jenkins, paste in your terminal, then click enter. Then we'll go for the next command. We will check the status of the Jenkins, sudo systemctl. I'll copy from here, just paste here, click enter. So it's showing that is active and running, right? So my Jenkins is active. Okay, and here the first is the key. This is administration password which we have to insert in the Jenkins Jenkins when you are starting the Jenkins. This I will tell you later on. Okay, just stay for that. And he's providing the path also. See, the second line is that this also found it the path of this. Okay, just enter control C to exit from this. Now what we will do, we will go here and we will check our IP address just to access. We will copy our IP address and open new window, new tab, and just keep semicolon 8000 port. Just click here. Before that, what you have to do, you have to open the port 8000 auto. Okay, so we have insert details, just clicking, and it should be acceptable from anyone because this application Jenkins is running on default 8080 port. It up to you, you can run it on 8081 also, but you need to reconfigure that one. So what I will do, just click here back, scroll here, then enter. So it will prompt you the official page. Okay, now it's showing me to unlock the Jenkins, it's lock version. So you have to use this path to take the password. Okay, initial admin password. Just I'll copy this all the path and I will go back to my terminal. Just I will use the cat command and I will copy the path which I have copied from it. Just enter. So it will display you the password. Okay. If you match this password with above, is same one which I mentioned before, right? So either you can check with status like sudo system enable Jenkins, and if you're checking sudo systemctl status Jenkins, you can find from this or the path from that. Okay, for the initial setup it will ask you. After that you can regenerate your own password. Just copy paste here, continue. Okay, so you're in. It's asking us, it will prompting that install suggested plugins or select plugins to install. So we will proceed with the first option, install suggested. By default it will install Jenkins, the required minimum plugins. Okay, just I'm clicking on this one. So the plugins are getting downloaded. The plugins include like GitHub, SSL build agent, Git, pipeline, Gradle, credentials, right? So this part is on. Meanwhile, when it's gathered, we will discuss about you can install Jenkins on Windows also. This is a documentation. So you have to download the Jenkins Jenkins exe file. Okay. After downloading the exe file from here, you have to run. So it is installed in your Windows. So this documentation you can follow up to install if you want to install on your system, right? Windows system. So these are steps you can follow. If you want to install on the Docker, then there is a documentation available for that also, how to install. Okay, you have to install the Docker in your instance, like in your server, or then you have to install on that Docker create network, and this all the steps is there. You can follow these steps how to install this one. Okay, or you can go to the GitHub or GitHub URL. From there you can just find the image of the Docker. That is also fine. Here also the plugin is downloading. Okay, so that option is also there. Okay, so this is a document. You can go through all the options. You can install on Blue Ocean, and you can install on Mac OS. You can install on Linux operating system. You can install on Linux Fedora family or Red Hat family based on your requirement, what you are using as per your company or as your like practicing which OS system you're using. Okay, this document, these steps you have to follow to install it. Okay, click on Linux. So I think plugins is getting installed. Just check, let's check and validate that. This plugin is already installed. Anti install, workspace cleanup installed, pipeline installed, Git installed. This plugin is already installed. The remaining is in the progress. So it will take few minutes, I guess. So in the right side is showing that what plugins have been installed. See, pipeline, Java, Git, GitHub, Git pipeline, stage view, SSH build agents. So it will show you the email extension. Email extension, you can use it for notifications or something else. Now it's going for that. Create your first admin user. Okay. So I'll be creating like a simple one. I'll be naming like Jenkins. The password I will set. You can create your own password and you can copy in your notepad. Confirm the password, re-enter the password, and then you can insert the name. I will be naming like Jenkins master, right? Email address, you can provide any email address as per your requirement. It's getting error. Save and continue. So you have to remember this password. You have to insert when you are getting logged. This is a HTTP URL from which you have to access the Jenkins. Okay, the Jenkins is already ready. It's saying that start using Jenkins. Okay, this is a Jenkins GUI dashboard. Okay, from here you can see all the things. Okay, like if you're checking like create a job, new pipeline, new item. If you click on manage Jenkins, you can go to the banker like plugins. If you click here new item to create new pipeline, you can pair from here also creating a job. Job and item is the same thing. Okay, you should not get confused in that. Manage Jenkins. Just click on the tools, plugins. We will go for the plugins. We can install some plugins. Install plugin. If you check, it will show you what the plugins have been installed. Available plugins. If you want to search any plugin that let's say Sonar Cube, you can check from here. Sonar Cube. Okay, you can install this plugin. Just click on the install. So it will install the plugin. It's showing that it's successful. In the down, it will showing that load Sonar Cube is getting installed. Okay, the plugin is already installed. So now you can go in available plugin. You can check GitHub server. Okay, it will show you. You need this plugin to integrate with Jenkins and GitHub. So I will install this. So you can install available plugins as per your requirement. It will ask you to restart after installing the plugins. So it can be better off reboot or something else like this. Okay. Just click on the system. You can go and you can find the details. How many executor you want. You can go with the master and slave architecture of the Jenkins. There is a possible that if you want to run the code, the build on anything else. Let me minimize some tabs so the internet is getting low. Click on the Jenkins. So it's showing me that how many executor you want, the URL path. So for now I'll make it one. I need only one executor to build my pipeline. This is a Jenkins URL. Okay. We can mention Sonar Cube environment. Like to test your code. You can go from there. There's a lot of options. Is it notification URL, GitHub server. Okay, this is my repository. Okay, if you go for GitHub icon, my repository, there you will be finding my repo. So what we will do, we will just trigger one. We will take one repository. Okay, code from the repository. We will integrate with that. Okay. So this all the options are there. We will go for the basic for now for this tutorial. Okay. Just save and exit from this. We will create one project. The basic project we'll be naming as per our requirement. You can name anything. I'll be naming like test Jenkins server. pipeline. Then click OK. Freestyle project. It will ask the description. You have to mention the description to remember what is this pipeline used for, use case of this pipeline, to know that this pipeline is for that. Okay, I'll be mentioning that this is our first pipeline build. Okay, so what we will do, we will just click source code management. Our source code, where is our code is located, is in GitHub, right? So I'll be clicking on the Java Maven sample var. Okay, so I'll be copying the URL of this. Just click on the code, then it will show you HTTPS. So click here, copy the URL, just go to the Jenkins, then paste your repository URL. Okay, it will ask you the credential. If you are public, then you need no need of, like, your repository public, you don't need. If it is private, then they require. So what we will do, we will create one like token, access token for our like practicing. Okay, so what you have to do, you have to go to the profile. Then you have to go down setting. Then in the left down, you will be finding developers setting. Then you have to go for new personal access token. Click on tokens. I have a token existing, but I will not be using that. I'll generate new token for the integration of Jenkins with GitHub. Just click here. It will prompt me to ask the password, so I'll be inserting my password. Just click here. I'll be keeping one node for my personal token. Jenkins first, pipeline. I can keep the expiration dates or the days. So I'll keep 7. I'll be checking repos. I may need workflow also. So what else I need? I'll be giving permission with my token. I can give hooks. Okay, webhooks. Okay, this is fine for now. Just create a token. You can generate token with this. So it will create a one token. You have to copy in your notepad, because when you it will prompt you only one time. After that you cannot. Okay, just save in your notepad so you can use in the future in the next steps. Just click Jenkins, go for user password authentication. Click the username you'll be finding here. What is the username? You have to go back, and where it is this, you can find. I have to click on the profile, I guess. Okay, if I click on the profile, I'll be using, say, Asim I have to copy this. Just go here, paste here your username. In place of password, you have to insert the token which we have generated. Okay, so I'll be copying the token. The ID, I can give anything, like to remember what is this credential is for. So I'll be mentioning pipeline 1, and I'll be mentioning the description. This is for my friends YouTube something XYZ. Add. The next, it will ask me the which branch you want to do it. Okay, so we'll going back to the repository there. Just click on the repository. Then you will be prompting up the branch, which branch. So it's showing that is in master branch. Okay, our code is existing master branch, so we have to insert master is default master. There's no issue. Then we'll go for the next steps. For now, we will not be integrating GitHub with hook triggers. We'll be using for the next stages. So just you have to save. Build steps also doesn't require for now, but there is an option. You can use Windows batch command or the bash commands, shell commands. Okay, we have saved our settings for the pipeline. We have integrated. Just what we will do, we will just trigger build now with manually. Okay, Just click on this build now. In the next project, we will go for the automations. Okay, fine. So it's showing me the build is successful. Let's go and check out the console output. It will show you all the details. It started by Jenkins master, as we have mentioned before. Like we have given this Jenkins as Jenkins master. The build is in this directory, var lib Jenkins workspace test Jenkins. Okay, the repository and the clone, where it has been cloned. It has cloned from the GitHub Asim account, right? That is my GitHub account. It's showing in the there is successful, right? If you want to check the git, so it's showing that this is a repository, from there it has been cloned. Okay, if you go for the dashboard, and the dashboard you'll be seeing that green one is successful, and it will showing the last successful when it is, and last failure. There's a lot of option available. It's showing the execution. We have mentioned only one idle. So whenever the executor is built, the pipeline is built, it will show from there. Manage Jenkins, there you can go for like node. Here you can go with the master, like Jenkins master and slave architecture. You can create one more server, and you can make that server Jenkins server as slave. So there is option for that also. Okay, manage Jenkins. We'll go back to the dashboard, and we will see the build history. It will show you that in the 13th of October we have created one pipeline that is successful. Okay, you can have 1 week view, overall you can have monthly view based on our requirement. Okay, this is my repository. There you can go and you can clone from there here, and you can go for like a documentation also, readme, to know the procedure how to follow. This readme is like created by the developer. They will mentioning all the things, how to create, how to deploy this this application, in which environment, and what we are using, like Tomcat, a web application, and this all the things are there. Okay, the Jenkins, these are basic things which we can know how to install Jenkins and access and create simple pipelines. Okay, in our next tutorial we can go everything. For now you can go my repository. There you can check everything, like my repository. You can scroll on my repository, how many repository do I have. From there you can take the code and you can play with around. Okay, here I have Jenkins, SonarQube, Docker, Java, Maven, simple application. You can clone from here. Okay, so this is the things. Don't forget to share, subscribe. Please don't forget to save, subscribe. Okay.